Do you know where the unstructured content in your organization is being created, shared, and stored? Are you sure that the sensitive information your business currently manages is secure and only available to the appropriate individuals? Effective compliance is the ability to not only have a governance strategy in place, but also be able to manage risk by identifying issues and potential violations, and have a process in place for resolution and fine-tuning. This step-by-step process establishes each phase, from defining your compliance strategy to implementing HiSoftware's suite of solutions for identifying and managing compliance and security issues in SharePoint to help protect your organization. The first step in managing compliance is to identify your areas of risk, including, but not limited to, regulations, types of content, locations, accessibility, distribution, security, and permissions. You'll want to include stakeholders such as senior management, heads of communications, human resources, and business units together to provide assessment of risk and to suggest policies required for the organization. After you have determined what areas of risk to address and aligned a content compliance strategy with the business strategy, use stakeholder knowledge to define the specific policies and procedures for the organization. Be sure to publish it and make it available to everyone in the organization. Putting paper policies and training in place is a start. However, with regulators cracking down on compliance, the rising number of breaches in the news, and large financial penalties in the balance, manual compliance is not enough. HiSoftware can help. HiSoftware's solutions for SharePoint help you to automate and enforce content compliance and security as part of your business process. To automate compliance using HiSoftware's Compliance Sheriff and Sheriff workflow, first define policies, business requirements, policy officers, appropriate actions, restricted access rules, notifications, and remediation workflows. Once you've defined your policies and rules, then Compliance Sheriff will scan and tag content to automatically detect, correct, and mitigate risk. Workflows can be used to remediate identified compliance issues and task the proper individuals in the organization to review and potentially quarantine, remove, classify, or reclassify the content. With its central workflow, HiSoftware prevents users from stopping the workflow and allows policy officers to override approvals, user actions, and make adjustments to classifications where appropriate. In addition to scanning content at rest for violations, Compliance Sheriff will review content as it is created to automatically mitigate risk by flagging violations and classifying content based on the predefined policy rules. It will also notify the appropriate stakeholders, including content creators, policy managers, and other departmental managers if a violation occurs. For organizations that want to be proactive about mitigating risk, HiSoftware's Security Sheriff can help to prevent violations and breaches by restricting access to, encrypting, tracking, and preventing the publishing of sensitive or confidential content. When Security Sheriff identifies sensitive or non-compliant content, it can encrypt the information immediately so that only properly credentialed users will be able to read the content. This applies inside or outside of SharePoint, even if the user has administrator privileges. This makes it safe to store confidential content such as board discussions and HR documents. Security Sheriff can also track the entire life cycle of documents. This means that a policy manager or security officer can see if and when a document has been read, updated, reclassified, emailed, or printed, and by whom, on what device, and where. A document's entire chain of custody is recorded and is easily available in the event of a breach or regulatory audit. Security Sheriff's prevent features reduce the risk of whoops moments and the unauthorized distribution of sensitive information and documents, automatically prevent or warn users if they attempt to publish or distribute sensitive or confidential information or documents via email or from their iPad. For additional security, users can also be prevented from printing and saving documents outside of SharePoint. Any good business process needs the ability to track progress. HiSoftware's reporting and auditing capabilities will confirm compliance against defined policies, report on the compliance and security status of sites, and measure progress against goals over time. For heavily regulated industries, it also provides an audit trail for regulators. In addition to high-level executive dashboards, detailed reports that pinpoint the location of problems allow users and developers to remediate issues quickly. Accurate reporting also allows policy managers to modify policy and workflow rules based on user interaction and compliance trends. Because compliance is always evolving, the ability to easily refine and make changes to your policies and processes is essential for a dynamic risk strategy. Protect the organization with automated content-aware compliance and security from HiSoftware to scan, audit and report, classify, restrict, encrypt, prevent, control, and track SharePoint content.